Hey guys, it's your friendly neighborhood Steve here. I've really wanted to make this video for a while now. It's really important to me to talk about this stuff. Most of you know, maybe you don't know, I'm an AI professor, right? I teach AI in college, and my background is over 20 years in computer science. When I did computer science in college over 20 years ago, my favorite subject was AI, and I was so excited about AI, and I've been waiting for all these years for us to finally get the computing power to do these things with AI that we're doing now. And I realized, and I never thought back then it would be such a controversial subject, but I'm not really here to talk about the controversy, but I'm here to tell you this. Everyone's lives are radically going to change in the next year, and especially 2 years. It's going to be very different. AI is going to influence just about every area of our lives. I mean, we already all have the internet and we all have smartphones, and we sort of take that for granted. But it's going to be even more of a change than having smartphones and the internet, right? It's exponential growth, which is sort of the theme for all this stuff, right? Everything is growing exponentially. So what I've seen from my friends is, you guys, I have a computer science degree and an IT master's, right? You don't have a lot of you don't have the background in this stuff. So you're just reading articles and seeing what people say, and you're saying, oh, AI is this and AI is that. And people don't really understand AI, or they checked it out once and then they pronounced a verdict on it. And then that's how AI is. And they just decided that they know AI now because they used it once or something. But that's not it, right? And I, like I said, I know a lot of my creative friends are worried about, the art and video and writing and all that kind of stuff. And that's a concern. But I got to tell you, this is not the main thing you should be thinking about, right? Things are going to change in the whole world. And yeah, there's politics and stuff going on, and there's nations and saber rattling, but there always has been that. But there hasn't always been this AI and this potential for what's going on. And so I'm going to tell you about it. Like a lot of my friends and posts I see are people like, oh, count the fingers, or, oh, AI couldn't solve a simple math problem. So basically what you're doing is making fun of a baby for not being able to do algebra. But guess what? This baby's going to grow up. And because of exponential growth, the baby is already grown up. And if you haven't used AI for 6 months, it's completely different than what it was before. Everything has changed, right? Its ability to do all the things that it's done, and its new abilities are coming because we have this sort of a generalized intelligence. Now, I know the problems. The problems are known, okay? In terms of feasibility, for instance, the costs. Right now, Anthropic and all these other companies that, run GPT and the other, companies are operating at a loss. They are charging for their things, but it costs, way more to provide this service. But this is a known business model, okay? Amazon operated at a loss for 10 years, but that's because Bezos saw the future, right? And this is the same thing happening with the AI. So yeah, it's not sustainable. But the thing is, like I said, it's a known problem. Everybody knows this is a problem. Another known problem is, the use of power, right? The amount of power that it takes to run these AIs is a lot, right? And you see people are building new power plants just to power AI. However, this is also a known problem. It's already getting better. And right now, kind of the focus of AI has shifted, instead of making it more intelligent and more powerful, to making it more efficient. That's been like for the last, I'd say, year, I've been seeing this. And I'm researching AI basically every week, right? It's my job right now, right? I do other things as well, but, I'm an AI teacher. And, I also teach computer ethics, which is another video I made, right? I believe in the ethical use of AI. But the thing is, the problems with the costs and the power and the environmental impact are all going to be solved. And they're probably going to be solved by AI. So AI is going to solve its own problem. So stuff is happening now, with AI in the last few weeks. We've got AI designing other AI. There are AI agents being designed by general AI. So if I need an agent to help me, combine proteins, then AI will help me make an agent that does that. And, we have... and people don't, the same thing with cars, people, self-driving cars, they have some accidents and stuff like that. They already have about the same or even less of an accident rate than human beings. Did you realize that? Like, we all live in a society where we accept driving cars pollutes the environment and kills people, and we're okay with that to an extent, right? But AI self-driving cars, all they've got to do is get a tiny bit better than humans, and now the fatality rate has gone down. But not only that, once we have a full system like an iRobot, right, the movie, integrated with AI, not only will it all be safer, but people will get to their destinations more quickly because they'll all work together. All the cars will be working together. Because right now, it's obvious that we work in a selfish driving model. Everybody's driving for themselves to be best for themselves. They don't care about, generally speaking, slowing other people down or whatever. But if we have a system where everybody works together, all the cars are working together to all achieve their goals, it's more efficient and everyone gets there faster and it's safer. If you take a distracted driving course right now, they'll tell you that 94% of accidents are caused by human distraction. Guess what doesn't get distracted? AI. So once AI is a little bit better than humans, even if they still have accidents, it's still going to cut down on the fatalities, right? Eventually, AI will be so much better than humans. It's exponential growth, right? Right now, AI is solving the world's most difficult math problems, just one by one, knocking them out, okay? Once we solve, and some people, experts I'm listening to are talking about the ability to solve all the math problems ever. If we do this, if we are able to solve every math problem by just throwing computing power at it, this will have implications for physics. We'll have fusion energy. We'll be able to cure cancer, right? I'll be able to simulate, millions of different compounds and scenarios on cancer and say which thing works, right? And, we've already got some nanotechnology coming down the pipe that can be controlled by AI. Like every week, there are new breakthroughs, and maybe we're getting used to this pace, but this is what's happening, and this is why I'm telling you, like in the next year, things are going to change radically. And then in the year after that, it's hard to even say what's going to happen. But I think you should be ready, right? AI is not stupid. It's not a fad. The problems with the power consumption and the cost are going to go away. We've solved all the other problems before with, transistors on chips and, how do we make computers faster, right? We found designs, and that was before we had AI to help us. Humans found ways around these problems. So they are going to be solved. We're making, LLMs that are one thousandth of the size of the original ones that are just as powerful, right? 1,000 times smaller, right? There's like 7 million parameter model now that can do the same thing, that a 7 billion parameter model could do, right? And so this is happening all the time. So what I want to recommend for you is to understand this, right? So in some ways, it's very hopeful and optimistic. Like if you have some kind of health condition or something like that, there's a chance that very soon there's going to be some kind of cure for that, right? And, and you want to think about how this could affect your job, right? So this can affect your job. And then your daily life, right? We already sort of, like, if you use Google Maps, right? That's an AI when you use navigation, right? It's telling you where to go. That's AI, right? We already use it all the time when Netflix recommends shows to you, things like that. But this is all going to be at such a scale. Like I'm telling you, every week there's new breakthroughs, new things, new technologies. Diseases are going to be cured. Cancer is going to be prevented. All kinds of stuff. As long as, there could be some major world event that stops this, of course. But on the trajectory that we are traveling, this is what happens. And everything is different. And it's like, the power of discovering electricity and the internet combined, right? All of these changes very rapidly happening. So what I want to tell you is I recommend that you think about how AI impacts you, right? How it's going to impact your job, your health conditions, your daily routine, all that stuff, right? And, almost any job, like, most of the, I have like 3 or 5 careers, right? And it's probably affecting 3 out of 5 of them, right? So, and probably will affect the others eventually. As a college instructor, I have a little bit of a blanket because of something called accreditation, where all colleges that are accredited or, basically reviewed have to have instructors that have advanced degrees in their subject. So I can't be replaced. My name at least has to be on these courses for accreditation. So maybe 2 or 3 years of that, because the academia doesn't change that quickly. But yeah, you saw about the student who got their degree probably using the ChatGPT a lot, right? And we have to figure out how to change with that. We just can't keep doing the things the same way as we've done them. And that's why change is going to happen whether we want to or not, right? So if you're not using AI, the people using AI are still going to affect you. So what I think you should do, a big takeaway, is find your meaning in life, right? Appreciate what we have now, because things will be different and we don't know. So I take a moment and think about what are the important things in your life and start doing them. Start doing them now. And maybe you could even see how AI could help you, right? I mean, there's so many things. Like right now we have, petabytes of data on all the stars and all the star systems from all the telescopes that humans can't look through because it's too much. We put an AI on this, they find new planets. They might find an alien civilization. Like, there's so many things that this has the potential to change, right? I don't know what's going to happen. But if we're already grounded and know who we are, and we have our own sort of, however you do it, kind of a spiritual practice or a grounding practice, and you've identified your purpose in life and what you want to do and know, then you have a direction that will help you through all these changes, right? And the thing is there are a lot of experts out there saying a lot of things, but we don't really know what's going to happen, right? It could be a lot of different things. And I'm not saying, it's going to be the AI apocalypse. I mean, it could be the utopia, right? But I'm betting it's somewhere in between. Probability, the bell curve says it'll be, there'll be some sort of AI problems, but also the benefits are already happening with the medical fields and science and things like that. So I wanted to make this short. I already went 11 minutes, but I hope you get something out of this. And this is, like I said, for my friends and my students and whoever wants to know about AI. AI is going to change the world in the next 2 years, and you should be ready, and you should think about what you're going to do about that. All right. I love you all, and take care.